Good afternoon. I'm Christine Weber with the Metro Area Chamber of Commerce, and today I'm at Huntington Learning Center with Kim. Hi,
Hi,
Kim.
I'm Kim Walter with Huntington Learning Center. This is Barbara Cerrone. She's our assistant director. I'm the owner and executive director of Huntington and Mentor, and we have a location in Mayfield Heights as well. So thank you for joining me today.
Oh, well, thanks for letting us come in. I just want to ask a couple of questions. We want to know where you are, your location, your website. If you have a Facebook page, let's get that information out to our audience.
Sure. We are located at 8000 Plaza Boulevard in Mentor. We're in the Erie Commons Shopping Plaza, which is next to Petitti's and Chuck E. Cheese, if you're familiar. In our Mayfield Heights location, we're in the Golden Gate Shopping Plaza, to the right of Marshall's and Best. What's it
Best
called?
Buy?
No, the
Okay.
eyeglass place. America's Best.
Oh, America's Best.
America's Best. We have been around nationwide for over 45 years. So we've been in the city of Mentor here in this location for over 15. So
Okay, yeah, and right here we're looking right at the founders of the Huntington Learning Centers.
yeah. So we have a lot of exciting things happening at Huntington. Our website you asked me about, huntingtonhelps.com. You can look for our Mentor location in there. And we also are on Facebook and we're on Instagram. So take a look at us there for all your needs.
What about your hours?
So over the summer, we see kids all day long. They're not in school. So a lot of students come to us in the morning, in the afternoons. Right now, we're opened Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9 a.m. until 7 p.m. And on Saturdays, 9 to 1. During the school year, which we start our fall school year schedule August 21st, which is a Monday. Starting then, we will be open the same 5 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but we'll see kids 3:30 till 7:30 after school, and then 9 to 1 on Saturdays.
Okay, wonderful. And speaking of summer, I think, Barbara, you have a few things you'd like to talk about the
Yes.
summer program that you have going here.
Yeah.
We try and make the summertime fun for the kids. So this year we had all the students pledge how many books they would read for the summer, and we have their pledge cards posted on the back. And then every month we have a bulletin board and we keep track of how many books the children have read. And we have a winner each month, which we've actually had one student win June and July.
Oh, wow.
So the race is on for August. And then we decided June was all about the water, the sea, and we talked about the animals in the sea and occupations that have something to do with the sea. July was all about space, and we had an interesting experiment where we had a can of pop and we figured out how much it would actually weigh on each planet. And the kids had a good time trying to figure that out. And by the end of July, they mastered it. And for August, we're talking about the land. So we have a map going right now of where have you been. This week is about North America. So we have a country for every day of the week, a new country that they can learn about. And the kids get passports. They can fill them out with their name. They're drawing pictures of themselves in it. They're putting stickers of countries that they hope to visit one day. And I get the fun job of being the custom agent. And every time the kids come in and check out the country of the week, they come to me and I have a stamp that I'm putting into their passports. So we're having a good time this summer and we're learning.
Yeah.
Well, that's the way to learn, in my opinion. It's no fun if it's straight
Exactly.
boring.
And then the second week and the third week and the fourth week of August, we'll kind of focus on different parts of the world, and we're going to explore all about different countries.
And you said some of these stickers represent locations that the kids have actually
Kids have
visited.
been, yes. So we have one from India. We have kids that have been to France and England and Brazil, Hawaii. So they're having a good time filling out the map.
There's a lot of stickers in Ohio.
Yes, Ohio
Yeah,
is
that's
getting
okay.
very thick.
That's all right. Hey, well, there is a lot of great things to see, drive and see
Absolutely.
here in Ohio. So they're lucky kids that get to go anywhere. That's what I say.
Yeah.
But
Anywhere
the
is
summer has been a great time for kids to work on their academic skills. Oftentimes, everybody's heard about the summer slide, and it's a real thing where if you don't do any academics over the summer, any kind of reading, any kind of math, any kind of like pencil in your hand, practicing writing, then that transition to the school year could be a really rough one in, the first couple weeks of school. And so if you keep kids academically engaged all summer, it just makes for such an easier transition for them. So we have a lot of students working on building their academic reading skills or their foundational math skills this summer. And some kids that are here for enrichment that really just wanted that extra challenge and wanted to get a little ahead of their class this summer. But at the start of the school year, it is the time to really pay attention to your kids' learning and make sure they have a strong start to the school year. So we had a lot of fun this summer, and it was a great opportunity for maybe some struggling students or even kids that needed some enrichment to do some summer work to give them a strong start, but it's not too late. So there's still a good couple weeks of the summer left. If you want your kids to get a little enrichment, you can call us and get some time in the next couple weeks, even just a few sessions to kind of get their brains a jump start before they start school. But as school starts, everybody knows that's a big transition, and school is more important than ever, honestly, since COVID. So many kids struggled during COVID, and a lot of kids really haven't kind of gotten their selves back on track, despite the best efforts of the school districts. I
course,
mean,
right.
everybody's working so hard to get these kids on track, but it is no secret nationwide that kids are struggling.
Mhm.
So give your kids a strong start to the school year, and if they need help, engage in extra help. I think a lot of parents feel like it's their responsibility or it's their obligation to help their kids, and they might not be teachers themselves, and even if they are teachers, it's really hard when it's your own kid. And
I wouldn't have the patience. I can tell you that right now.
I
So,
mean, I share this often with people. I have teenage boys, and they come here for extra
they
help,
do.
and they don't really respond to me the same way they respond to somebody else, because I'm mom, and it's nice to just preserve that relationship and have somebody else help them that is a degreed accredited professional. So we are accredited as a private school here. We have all degreed professionals, and they're all background checked here. We are recognized by the state of Ohio for our excellent results, and we can bring that same level of service to your own students. So
well, yeah, speaking of that, you were talking about that you now get to do a new program with
yeah,
that involves the state.
yeah, we're excited. We are mostly engaging with students who come to us privately. Their parents pay out of pocket for supplemental tutoring services with us, and we help kids kindergarten through 12th grade, even college students and some adults. However, the state of Ohio recognizes that a lot of kids are struggling in school, and they want to provide help to the school districts, and they have the last couple of years, but they recognize that staffing is an issue at the schools, and having the level of talent needed outside of the typical school day is just hard for the school districts to manage. So the state of Ohio came to Huntington and said, you guys have exceptional results with your students. We want you to engage in some of the public schools, some of the charter schools, even some of the private schools, and provide assistance to them. So it's something called Future Forward Ohio High Dosage Tutoring, and it's an initiative that is starting this school year. It was just passed by the state legislature at the end of July.
Mhm.
And Huntington is going to be partnering with school districts to bring our expertise into the buildings and help some kids in some school districts meet their goals, because they haven't really recovered from COVID, and it's a shame. And the state of Ohio has the best of intentions to help those kids and provide the districts with the resources they need, and they're calling on extra help from us because they know that we can handle it. So
That's wonderful.
we're really excited about
yes,
that.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we're really excited about that.
So, what other programs do you have that you're going to offer once the school year starts?
So what we basically do 3 different types of tutoring here. All of it is very individualized. All of it's very personalized to every student. But the first kind of tutoring we do is either for kids that need remediation. Maybe they need extra support, and they need to kind of look back a couple years and dig deep and kind of find out where they have some academic gaps. And we develop an individualized tutoring program that could be cross-curricular. It could be math and reading and writing and study skills, or it could just be specific to one area that they're struggling in. So we develop an individualized program for them, or for the kids who are maybe enriched, that are gifted, that need extra challenge. So it's a cross-curricular general academic support. We also, and that's for any grade student.
Mm-hmm.
We also provide subject-specific tutoring, and usually this is for high school kids, sometimes middle school students, but as students get into high school, it's more like upper level math and science, and they might be doing okay in school, but there might be one class that they're struggling in, and for some kids they have straight A's, but all of a sudden they get into geometry and they have a C, and they are panicking and feel terrible about themselves because they just can't figure out why they can't figure whatever subject out. And so we can come in and help them just with that one specific subject area. They don't necessarily need traditional academic support, but they just need support in that one area to boost their grade and to give them that one-to-one attention so they can be successful in class. Some kids come for one subject, like, Algebra 2 or Spanish or AP US history. We do a lot of support for kids in AP classes. And I think a lot of people think, oh, tutoring, that's for the kids that are really struggling and have all Fs. And honestly, that couldn't be further from the truth. Certainly we have those kids, but we do have a lot of kids. Like, there was one student this last year who had 5 AP courses and he had straight A's and over a 4.0, and he just needs a little extra help keeping an A in all of those classes. And we prepped him for all of his AP exams in the spring, and he passed every single one with a 4 or a 5. So that counts as college credit for him. And that was his goal. It really strengthens his transcript and his college applications for this upcoming fall when he's a senior. So, again, I think some people think of tutoring as only for the kids that are really struggling. This kid is an exceptional student, but that little extra support with all the homework and all the things that he's involved in. So that was great. So subject specific tutoring, but we also help kids prepare for different exams. So the ACT, the SAT, which everybody knows about in high school level. We also help students prepare for high school entrance exams. So the ISEE, which is the independent school entrance exam that Gilmore and Hawken and University School, Proctor, Andrews Osborne, which is right down the street from us. Also the high school placement test, which some of the Catholic high schools proctor, like St. Ignatius and St. Ed's. So when you take those entrance exams, you not only get considered for acceptance, but also scholarship money. So Lake Catholic has an entrance exam and Notre Dame has an entrance exam, and those kids are placed in their classes in high school based on their performance on the entrance exam, but it also makes them eligible for scholarship money. So that's an important one. We also prep students for the ASVAB, the military entrance exam. We have some GED students, the high school equivalency test, all kinds of things. So we have a lot of different students, but those are kind of like the 3 areas we focus in. Some things that we also have coming up for the school year. We will continue to be a John Peterson Scholarship provider here. So again, through the state of Ohio, that's for students that have an IEP and they attend a non-public school. So we can provide them intervention services that are paid for through the state of Ohio scholarship for students that meet those specific needs. We also are an approved ACE Ohio provider, which is the After School Child Enrichment Program. It's been around for the last couple years, but they've really beefed up their finances this year through the state of Ohio. So if you're interested in applying, it's aceohio.org. It's for families that meet financial considerations, but you can have tutoring through us reimbursed at $1,000 per student per year. And I think a lot of families would be surprised at what the qualifications are because it's higher than you would think. And again, the state of Ohio is doing everything they can to provide opportunities for students to excel in school. And we are an approved provider for that service. So amongst other things. So we have that going on.
I know you want to talk about, speaking of school, since it is unfortunately around the corner. I hate to say that because we all don't want summer to end, but it has to come at some time. You were talking about things that parents and kids can do to start to prepare and get themselves ready for the school year, and things they should be doing as school continues through the year to make themselves.
So, so my kids are teenagers, and this still holds true. Even though they're older and you might as a parent think like they're old enough to manage themselves, they still need some guidance. And the little kids obviously need a lot of guidance too. So a few tips, if you're wondering how you get ready for the school year and it's T-minus 2 weeks away, and your kid has been up late and sleeping in and, taking a bath in the swimming pool every day. Like, we got to get back to like some kind of a routine here, people. So, it is not too early to establish a bedtime routine, especially for the little guys, because they are exhausted when school starts. Just getting back and like the cadence of getting up and getting out the door and having a full day of school and going to bed on time. So I sound like a big Debbie Downer saying that, but like they got to go to bed at a reasonable time. So start like moving up the bedtime until it's a reasonable time for them to get a full night's sleep. And like nationwide, kids are exhausted. They just need more sleep. So, make sleep a priority for them. It just helps them have a better school day. Get them on a routine of getting up in the morning and brushing their teeth and putting on clothes and getting them dressed. If you have that morning routine kind of established, then it certainly helps them to get out the door and you're not like, crazy trying to get everybody on the bus. Pack your book bag the night before just so it's ready to go. If you're a lunch packer, then pack the night before, or if you need to arrange for your lunch card or lunch money or whatever, make sure that's all situated in your backpack. I always suggest that students have a dedicated spot to keep their backpack and their shoes and their coat and everything so that in the morning you know where it all is and you're not running around the house trying to find it. So if you have like a mud room or some place where you're a hook that you keep that stuff, like keep it in the same spot and kind of get your kids in the routine of putting it there. After school homework, especially for the little guys, get them in a routine of doing it like the same time in the same place. Have a dedicated homework space for them. A lot of people have their kids do homework at the kitchen table, and that might work, but that's a busy spot where somebody might be cooking dinner and you might have the TV on and people are kind of racing in and out and they can see what's going on outside, kids playing, and it's a big distraction. So if you have a dedicated spot that is cleaned off and not a lot of stuff going on, and if they have all of their materials they need to do schoolwork, like pencils or a Chromebook charger or erasers or crayons or whatever they need for school. The big kids, if it's a place where they can charge their calculators and all that, then just keep it in a dedicated spot. It's kind of like conditioning them to get in the mindset of doing homework every day. And if it's in the same spot, then they kind of fall into that pattern. And you can work in snack time and work in other activities at night, but if you have dedicated time to do homework in a dedicated space, it's usually more effective that way.
And turn off those cell phones.
Yes, turn off your cell phone. Like instead of multitasking when you're doing homework, especially for the big kids, like if you put the phone aside, it does help. I know. I mean, have teenagers and I get that.
Well, yeah,
So-
that's a distraction we all didn't have, right? And now
I
they
know,
do.
right?
So-
And so, yeah, definitely. So there are lots of ways to kind of get a leg up, but if you are worried about your kid, if they struggled last year in school or you felt like they needed more challenge and they weren't as challenged, be in tune to that. Don't let it kind of get out of hand because you might see that your student has like a negative disposition about school or is crying during homework, or you as a parent need to put so much effort into helping them with their homework and it's a major struggle. Like that's when you probably might need some outside help and engage in getting a tutor for your kids. And there's no shame in it. Like you outsource lots of parts of your life. Like you get somebody to color your hair, you get somebody to mow your lawn, you get somebody to do your nails. Like why, there's lots of things that you outsource. This can be something that you outsource that could be fundamentally life-changing for your kid. So,
well, like you said, you brought up the example of your kids don't really want to listen to you because they're tired of listening to you all day. So they don't want to listen to you about homework too.
right.
So having that other voice and somebody that they
Mhm.
respect sometimes, not that they don't respect you, but you know how
I
kids
know.
are.
Right.
I
So
know.
yeah, so
I
I
know.
think that was a great thing for you to bring out that
Yeah.
sometimes the parent is not always the best teacher,
Right.
even though they want to be.
Right. And we have like quite a few teachers who have their kids with us
Yes.
here because they recognize that either they just don't they don't have the specialty in what their kid needs help with. They might be a second grade teacher and their kid needs help with trigonometry. Like
Mhm.
that's just because they're a teacher doesn't mean they teach everything. Or they just like their kid doesn't respond the same way and it causes so much friction in your household. So, I understand how parents want to be everything to their kid,
course.
but as a parent, you just have to make the best choices for your student. And if you feel like there's just something not right and there's something that's, they could use extra help in school, don't ignore that voice. And I encourage you to reach out to their teachers early. Don't wait till parent-teacher conferences even, because that might be too late. They might be struggling already a month or 6 weeks into the school year by the time that conference happens.
Yeah, and that really puts the students behind it, and it's such an early start.
Yeah.
Is there anything else, Kim? Do you have any plans, future plans, or anything that you would like to talk about for the Huntington Learning Center?
Yeah, well, we are very excited for the new school year. We respect our partnerships with the schools so much. I feel like it's fundamental to our success is our collaboration with the schools. So for every one of our enrolled students, we offer to reach out to their whole teaching team to make sure that the things that we're seeing here is translating to their performance in the classroom. And that's huge, right?
Mhm.
Everybody wants their kids to be having an easier time in school and their grades to improve. And they want their kids to be having an easier time at homework and not disrupting all their family time. So we appreciate those partnerships with the teachers because we can get real-time feedback on how that kid is doing in school, and we can be responsive because every student with us is doing their own individual thing, their own lesson plan. So we can tweak that and be responsive to what's happening to them in school. And so the school year's starting, and we're so excited to welcome back the teachers. We've been working hard all summer. They're just getting back in the door. But we are excited to welcome them back and talk to them about all the things our students have been doing all summer to get ready for the new school year. And I think some of the teachers are going to be blown away at what a difference the student maybe that they had in the spring, now coming back in the fall, a huge difference in their abilities. So we're excited about that. People in Mentor can check us out at City Fest. We're going to be in the parade again this year, which we love. That's exciting. We have a few different things coming up. We support the Mentor football team, so we'll be in their program again this year, and we're really looking forward to that. We're looking forward to our partnerships with the school districts again. So what else do we have going on this year?
Lots of visits. We'll be lots of places.
We'll
of
be
course.
lots of places all over.
Well,
We
good.
do have a special, though,
Uh-oh,
a special
uh-oh.
thing. So for kids, I know.
Yeah.
So for students, usually it's high school kids, sometimes middle school kids, if they need subject-specific tutoring, like if they're struggling in biology, for instance, or English, we are offering a special. If they buy 12 hours of tutoring, then they can get 3 free. And so if you kind of think of it, we usually do it a minimum of 1 hour a week. So if your kid's struggling in class and they come to us for 1 hour of supplemental tutoring a week, the grading period is like 9-10 weeks. That's 1 hour a week with an extra couple of flex sessions for preparing for tests, preparing for the midterm, things like that. So for that grading period, you can call us and get your kid off to a strong start, because you don't want to wait till they already have a low grade and they have to dig themselves out of it. If you know they struggled last year, it's likely going to happen again, unfortunately, but now you know better, so you can do better as the school starts this year.
Yes. Well, thank you, ladies, for being with us today. Thank you for being a Mentor Chamber member. We certainly appreciate that.
It's my pleasure.
So one more time, give them your phone number.
440-205-8226. Give us a call. We would love to work with you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for being here today. Okay, I feel like that was